The Pan-American Highway runs through North, Central, and South America. It is the longest drivable road in the world. It represents the dream of connecting the entire American continent. Many off-road enthusiasts challenge the Pan-American Highway. It is one of the classic expedition routes. I'm driving my Jeep Wrangler, just one person, one Jeep. Let's start this journey. Join me on this unforgettable adventure. In the last episode, talk about driving through the US and modifying my Wrangler. It's worth mentioning that most of the modifications were done by me, except the front bump and the winch. My route in Mexico started from Falcon Heights on the Texas border, passing through the entire country, and finally reaching Guatemala. This small and simple booth was the US border and the customer checkpoint. There was no one there. I didn't even stop the car and just drive straight out of the US. As everyone knows, getting a US visa and entering the US can be complicated. But leaving the US is very easy, even easier than getting into the Costco store. No ID is needed. Then the car drove on the Falcon Dam, which spans the Rio Grande and forms a large reservoir on the right side of the road. The Rio Grande is the dividing line between the US and Mexico. This is the starting point for heading south on the American continent, and the gateway to the culturally diverse world. The dam and the bridge are about 3 miles long. Its end is Mexico's border and customers. It took me 2 hours to complete all the paperwork. Just past the border, a quiet village appeared. Dirt roads, dry bushes, and low houses created a very raw and simple atmosphere. The winter carried the smell of dust and dry grass. It wasn't bustling or crowded. It felt like the true beginning of the adventure. The Pan-American Highway continued south. On the right was a small village. This was the real northern Mexico. Dry grasslands, cacti, scattered trees. Also, this is a keyboard route. The landscape was peaceful. At one toll booth, a large fire broke out nearby. The thick smoke filled the air. I quickly left the area. In Colorado, I passed the famous Stone Aqueduct, more than 200 years old, stretching almost a mile across the city. It's a historic landmark. As I headed toward Mexico City, the scenery shifted from dry northern hills to highland plateaus. The road climbed, the traffic became heavier, more traffic and toll booths appeared. Once inside Mexico City, life moved at full speed. Metro trains, buses, bicycles, street performers, food stores, all mixed. It was clearly the heart of Latin America. Zocalo Square is one of the most important landmarks in Mexico. It is also one of the largest city squares in Latin America, surrounded by historic buildings like the National Palace, the Cathedral, and the government offices. The square is full of colonial style and the national symbolism that has witnessed the centuries of history. The Mexico City Cathedral is one of the most majestic and historic Catholic churches in Latin America. Construction began in 1573 and took 250 years to complete. Its architecture blends Renaissance, Baroque, and neoclassical styles. The outside looks grand, and the inside is dazzling with gold details. Palace of Fine Arts is known as the heart of Mexican culture. Its white marble exterior is elegant and solemn, set full of stunning murals, including Diego Rivera's famous piece, Man at the Crossroad. Palace also hosts operas, ballets, concerts, and plays. I stay near the US Embassy, where are long lines of people waiting every day for visa appointments. The streets were busy and full of police. I saw teachers protesting for better pay. At the Coyoacán market, I was surrounded by the smiles of tortillas, spices, and stools. The stores were packed with food, crafts, pottery, skull decorations, and religious items. This was real and everyday life in Mexico. Visited Chinatown in Mexico City, but surprisingly, I did not see many Chinese faces. The tourists and the shop workers all seemed to be Hispanic. The Alameda Central is the oldest and most culturally significant city park in Mexico City, built in 1592. It has witnessed the centuries of change. At the Zocalo Terrace restaurant, I had a great view of the square. On that day, it was full with tents from striking teachers. The chef even invited me to visit the kitchen. The food was modern Mexican, creative, layered, and far beyond what I used to think of as Mexican cuisine. Leaving Mexico City, headed toward La Malinche National Park, a nature reserve centered around the Malinche volcano. It is a paradise for outdoor lovers. Camping out in the wild brought me closer to nature. I camped alone at over 11,000 feet in elevation. It was just me. The light was cold, close to freezing. My rooftop tent was roomy, rainproof, and windproof. It took just minutes to set up. I had a sleeping bag and a warm blanket. The tent had a cozy mattress. This setup was perfect for long overland travel. Simple, compact, warm, and reliable. From La Malinche, I began the long journey to Tapachula, town near the Guatemala border. Passed through highlands, pine forest, banana groves, and palm trees. Temperature rose, and the vegetation grew dense. I saw another burnout truck on the road. These checkpoints are common in Mexico. I was often stopped. Officers check my passport, driver's license, and car papers. Sometimes they search my Jeep. It gave me a real sense of local security condition. These two officers took a selfie with me after searching my jeep. Tapachula is the last Mexican town before the Guatemala border. It's not a big city, but because of its location, security can be a concern. At the Chinese restaurant, the owner was shocked to hear I plan to drive alone into Guatemala. She warned me, "It is too dangerous. Lots of robberies and kidnappings lately. I haven't gone there in years." For me, staying alert and driving low-key is essential for safety. In the deserts of the north to the volcanoes and the jungles of the south, Mexico was full of variety. I passed through busy cities and quieter villages, met soldiers, saw burning trucks and muddy mountain roads. I also met kind strangers, warm smiles, and felt sincere hospitality. And heading south, next stop, Guatemala, the journey continues.